What's going on, guys? It's Michael here from K&M Resell. My wife and I both sell full-time on eBay, and as usual on Mondays or Tuesdays we do a what sold. This week a little bit different, skipping the usual financial numbers and the normal intro. Just gonna blow through as many brands as I can within a short amount of time to give you guys the most bang for your buck on your time. So we're going to go through these. I have 30 of them real quick and I try to go as fast as I can, more so just show you guys the tags, what's special about the item, and go from there. The eclipse is in 40 minutes, so I am trying to beat that time so I can go and see that thing going on. So yeah, here we go. First one is going to be someone who bought 2 pairs of these Purple Label Ralph Lauren shorts. They bought both of these and ended up getting a 10% off discount code for buying both. They ended up spending $117 plus shipping and everything. So the number I give you, the 117 is going to be not including shipping, sales tax, and all that. It's going to be the best offer amount that they paid and all that. So just FYI, because I'm not going to give you guys the total numbers, it's going to be the what sold or the buy price. So 117, then they had to pay all that other stuff. So 117 for both of these shorts. Really good sales. Purple Label Ralph Lauren, everyone knows, is super high dollar. And so I got lucky and found 4 of these shorts at a Salvation Army, paid about $6 a piece for them, maybe 7. And I think I only have 1 left to sell. So really good find. Next is going to be this 4XLT New Tags Ralph Lauren hoodie with the polo bear. Typically with Ralph Lauren, if you have these bears or unique, I guess mostly the teddy bear stuff that's on the clothing, then it's typically worth a little more money than the generic stuff. This one also was 4XLT and New Tags, so went for top dollar, I would say. Surprised it didn't go for a little more. We listed at like 125, and it's been decreased in price as time goes on. Ended up selling for $87 at a best offer. So yeah, super cool item. Always look up Ralph Lauren stuff that's unique, like I always say. And moving on. Next is this pair of Robins jeans. A lot of people probably don't know this brand, but it's they make a lot of jeans. I found typically they don't look this unique. They're typically actually just normal jeans. But I found 2 of these about a year ago. It's been that long, took that long to sell. But I found 2 of these. One of them was blue, one of them was yellow. And the yellow ones sold for, I believe, like $135 after a month or 2 of being online. And I priced both of them at $150, knowing that that was like way above normally what they sell for, but I wanted to see what they would go for. I didn't want to undersell them or anything, so didn't mind listing them high, decreasing price over time. Took a year to sell, but really good sale. Sold for $80, and then plus shipping and all that. So super happy with the sale. And yeah, Robins jeans is a bolo for sure, by the way. Just be on the lookout for it. It has a high sell-through rate. Typically, if it still does, I haven't looked it up in a year, but it did have a high sell-through rate whenever I did buy these. And yeah. These are RJ Classics equestrian riding breeches. So I don't know a whole lot about horse riding stuff. I just know there's a lot of money in it, especially like the boots and stuff. I believe I paid $25 for these a while back, a few months ago, 4, 5, 6 months ago. Ended up selling for $70, so pretty good sale, and can't complain about paying $25 into $70. Took a little bit longer to sell than I'd like, but yeah, really good sale. Anytime you see equestrian stuff, whether especially boots, just look up the stuff because you just never know. Honestly, these didn't look super nice, but they ended up being really high sell-through rate and good sale prices. Surprised about this sale. Kendall found this item. It was a 511 jacket. Usually nowadays 511 doesn't go for a whole lot of money. But this specific jacket, looked up this NRA logo with the jacket, and there was a sold comp around this price that we sold ours for. This one sold for $65. And yeah, this ended up just being worth a little bit more. And even with the flaws and stuff, the stains, still sold really well, sold fairly quickly. I think 2 months it took to sell. So yeah, 511, honestly not a great brand nowadays across the board, but we took a shot on this one and it ended up paying off. So yeah. Next is Rowback, complete opposite of 511. Amazing brand. We talk about it a lot on this channel. We find it every once in a while, maybe 2 times a month we find it. And yeah, this is a really cool one. Just a dog paw printed polo. Ended up selling in a week as usual with Rowback, and it sold for $66. So probably could have sat a little higher on pricing, but we always send 10% off things with people's offers, and someone accepted it. They just get mass sent, so can't really prevent ourselves from doing that, but it's fine. Still a really good sale. Ended up paying, I believe, $9 for that shirt. Next one is On Clouds. Obviously, everyone knows On Clouds. Just throwing it in here because it was on the top 30 solds. Black pair of On Clouds, no insoles, size 11 men's, and they ended up selling for $60 plus shipping and all that. Next is Scotty Vest. I think we sold 2 of these, but I only am showing one. So we sold 2 of these last week. Scotty Vest is just a great brand. I don't know what to say much about it. They just make a lot of really cool vests that the sleeves typically unzip. There's a lot of pockets is what they're known for. They have like 14 to 20 pockets on each of their vests. A lot of different models and stuff that they make. This one we ended up finding at a Goodwill for, I believe, $4.99. Got really lucky with that price because they're typically more expensive than this. And yeah, it took about 2 to 4 weeks to sell. And then the other one that we listed also, the other one actually took longer to sell because it had a couple flaws, but it sold for the same price as this one. Not the same buyer, just the same sort of item. This guy ended up getting a best offer, 10% off at $63. Next is a golf club. Kendall found this a week ago. She found a golf bag at Goodwill for $12.99. It came with the golf bag, this 4-iron, and then 4 other AP1 irons. That was the 789 P wedge, and then a 60-degree SM7 Titleist wedge, and I think that was it. I think there was those 6 clubs in the bag for $12.99. Really good find. This club ended up selling for $49.99. I got an offer for the other 4 irons that are more of a set than this was. The 7 through P, got an offer this morning for $105 and countered it. We'll see what happens. And then the SM7 wedge should usually sell for $50. And then the golf bag will be going on Facebook Marketplace locally, so we don't have to ship it for probably $40 to $50. It's also a Titleist bag. But yeah, golf clubs we do buy and sell. We love buying and selling them. We've got the boxes to ship them easily. And I'm a big golfer, so I know quite a bit about them now after playing for the past year. I've learned quite a bit about clubs. They're just really hard to find cheaply at the places around here to resell. So we don't find them often, but when we do, we pick them up and we sell them. Next is this Ted Baker blazer. Really low sell-through rate on Ted Baker blazers, but they've been doing well in our store, so we still pick them up for $4 here and there. This one ended up selling for the asking price of $53. And yeah, not much to say here. Ted Baker, I mean, you got to really do your research on these things. This one was just mint condition, and the purple lining on the inside was cool. And I believe they looked up the size, 40R, good size, so ended up picking it up. And I think it took like 3 to 4 months to sell. So blazers usually take a little bit longer to sell, but they're so cheap here, and they sell for, a lot of money that we resell them. Next, this person bought 2 mizzen and mains together, got 10% off on that deal, ended up paying $56 for the 2, and then plus shipping and everything. And so yeah, just mizzen and mains, still doing well for us. I know a lot of people are starting to struggle with them. But we have not seen them slow down at all really in our store. So we will keep buying them, but I'm sure in the next year or two, they will turn into the Untuck It of 2023. Untuck It, for those who have been reselling for a while, was a good brand to buy 2 years ago and even a year ago. And now it is just fallen off. There's still some good models in the Untuck It lines that are good, but overall it has fallen off quite a bit. It used to sell for $25 to $30, and now it's down to like 20. Mizzen and main will probably fall in that boat too, probably in the next year or two. Next is Hoka. Everyone knows Hokas. Not much to say here. Just put it in here. Ended up selling these for $45. Always be looking up your Hoka models. This is the Rincon 3s, one of the better models that in my experience. I usually always can get $40 to $50 for Rincons, depending on condition. Sometimes up to $60 if they're in like mint condition, but yeah. Next is Tecovas. Tecovas is a really good brand. We usually find their jeans, not their shirts. This was a Goodwill find that I found about a month ago. Paid $9.99 for it and ended up selling for the full ask price of $50 plus ship. So this was a new with defects actually. Had a little red mark on the front. And so hopefully the buyer can get that out once they throw it in the wash and stuff, but we shall see. Next is Dolce & Gabbana jeans. I don't know much about their jeans. I know that they are extremely hard to comp out to figure out exactly how much they're worth and stuff, because the comps on these are all over the board. The sell-through rate is low, but these were super cheap in a thrift store. I think $5 to $10, and the comps were, as like I said, all over the board. So I just took a shot on them. I knew it'd take a while to sell. It took 3 months, and they ended up selling for $46.29. The price was listed higher and decreased over time. So you'll see comps up to $150, and then some sell for 30. So I just priced them sort of in the middle and waited to see what would happen. But those things about a designer brand, I'll have a lot of fakes out there, but I don't know much to say about it. It's such a hit or miss brand. There are a few designer brands that are really good, and there's some that are very hit or miss, and it just all depends on what you have in your hands for how well it's going to sell. Another pair of Hokas, no insoles. This is the Clifton 3s, older model, but it was size 15, which on the sell-through rate side, this actually was a good sell-through rate. I think it might be thinking of a different Hoka pair that I picked up recently, but I think this model literally had 1 listed and like 15 sold. So this color scheme model, I could be wrong. I might be thinking of another one, but I'm pretty sure this one had 1 listed and 15 sold. So picked them up, sold obviously within the week, and yeah. Next is Allen Edmonds. Make sure you're doing your research on these whenever you find them. Not all Allen Edmonds are good. A lot of them are horrible, but there are some that are decent and there are some that are really good. So this one was just an okay one, being black. The black shoes typically do worse than the browns and the suedes and the tans and all that. But the McAllister is a really good model. So if you ever find McAllister in a different color than black, it's typically worth more than $40. But the black ones are worth around this, unless they're mint condition, like I said. So these had been worn a bit, had some flaws, listed them at $40, and the buyer ended up buying them for also $40. So not a bad sale. McAllister, good line. Just look up the model number that's here, right here, the 4-digit 6215. Allen Edmonds always has a 4-digit model number, and you should be able to find the exact shoe that you have in your hands. Next one's a pair of FootJoys. These were pretty stained up or dirtied up on the toes. Threw these in the wash. They just didn't come out, the stains. And so ended up pricing these a little bit on the lower side by $5-10 because of that. And they ended up selling in a week or two for $40 plus shipping. And FootJoy, you can look up this model number, 53854, whatever number's there, and you'll get your exact model. The newer FootJoys do pretty well as some of the older ones that look like dress shoes, as you saw if you saw the video last week of the what sold, we had a pair that sold for over $100. That was an older model, older looking shoe, I should say. So FootJoy is pretty good, but they have a lot of shoes that also aren't good. Merrell, this brand has fallen off completely in the past few years. 3 years ago, you could sell every Merrell pair of shoes for over $30-40. Now it's hard to find shoes that are worth over $30 or $40, but this Moab Edge 2 shoe has always done well for us. So I pick it up whenever I find it, as well as it's hard to find them cheap in the thrift store. They usually mark them up now. But Merrell has also a style number. Most shoes do, J77413W. I just know that this model does well. I've sold it many times in the past, so I didn't have to really look it up, and I'm sure it was under $10. I think it was $8.99 in the thrift store. So buyer, if I didn't mention it, paid $38.69 at an offer, and then plus shipping and all that. Next is a pair of Marith Jabode. Marith Jabode. Someone's going to comment about how to pronounce it. It happens every time that I show this item in the what's solds, and I can never remember how to do it, but I think I'm just going to be stuck jumbling and mumbling. I know it's Jabode, so I'm just going to call it Jabode. So just a pair of jean shorts, nothing crazy. Buyer got an offer 10% off at $40.50. And this is a huge size 50. Surprised these sold this quick, but I actually do think the sell-through rate was pretty decent on it whenever I picked them up. Paid $5, I think, for these, $5 to $7. I know what store I bought it at. I just don't remember how much I paid. But a lot of people skip on this brand. They don't know it or something, but it's actually a really good brand. We usually find their jeans, like the long jeans, not the shorts, but both do really well in our store, so we keep picking them up. Next is Howler Bros. This is, if you saw the video last week, we had a crazy Howler Bros sale. This is one of the generic ones I was talking about. So this is typically what we get for Howler Bros shirts, $40. The buyer paid 10% off. and just a really cool pattern, short sleeve, ready for summer. Here we go. And took 4 months to sell, 4 to 5 months. Priced it on the higher side, decreased price. We liked the pattern, so priced on the higher side. And yeah, someone finally bought it, and great sale. Next find is, I don't really know much about this brand. My wife does the women's clothing stuff whenever she finds some stuff here and there. So Lucky in Love, it's a golf skirt. We're moving into summer. People are going to start golfing. Tennis skirt, golf skirt. And yeah, so we are buying a lot of like Lululemon shorts right now, a lot of types, like different branded skirts and stuff like that for the summer. And they seem to be doing pretty well. This one sold in a week or two for $28.99. So really good sale, and yeah. Next is Grayson pants. So Grayson is a golf brand. A lot of people are starting to learn it or already know it. And these end up selling for the list price of $40 plus shipping. I love this brand. There are other golf brands that are much better than this, like Roback, but I personally have a few of these items. I like it, and it still sells really well. I think that in a few years, this might go down in value quite a bit. Honestly, their build quality is not up to par compared to the other golf brands. So I think over time, the items wear out very quickly after being washed. And so I have a feeling that the brand value itself will probably go down quite a bit just because the quality is not, again, up to par with the other golf brands that are out there, such as Roback. And their pricing is the same as Roback. MSRP wise, I think they're actually more than Roback. So for their quality to be worse is not a good look. Here we go, another Peter Millar. This was in the, I think we did a haul video last week or the week before that, and I found 4 of these for $3.99 each. Sold one of them already, and then this one sold at $40.50, and we still have 2 more left. These are just the Peter Millar. The model's called the Galway Loop Terry. So ended up finding that because there's model numbers behind this tag. There's a model number, and so you can just look it up and find the exact name, the keyword to put in your title. Really sweet that they have those model numbers back there. And yeah. Next is a new with tags, Tommy Bahama. We got this from a liquidation store. We bought 4 of these. This is the last one that we had. Is this one with defects? I know one of them. This one was a defected one. I think one of them had a defect, which was this one, and then the other 3 were brand new with tags. I believe we paid $10 a piece for these whenever we bought these a while back, probably 8-9 months ago. The other 3 sold quickly, and then this one just sat, obviously, because of the defect, but this ended up selling for $39, so roughly, I think that's 13 to 15% off. I'm just glad to get this out finally. It's been sitting in our store for a while, and yeah. It's funny, I actually had someone message me like, oh, this is a fake, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, no, it's not. You look up how to figure out a fake. First of all, it's from a Tommy Bahama liquidation distributor. Second of all, these patterns line up perfectly. If you have a Tommy Bahama and this pattern doesn't match where that overflap is, it's going to be a fake. So there are not a lot of fakes out there for Tommy Bahama, but that's just an FYI. So this guy had no clue what he was talking about, but I get people messaging me all the time telling me how to run my business, and they just have no clue what they're talking about, so I just ignore them typically. But anyways, next one's Roar. Roar used to be, again, a really good brand. This is a 3XL, which is the main reason why we picked it up. And then the big embroidery crossing on the back made their, like, those shirts do better than a lot of their other just plain Jane ones. Kendall actually found this and made the listing, so I have no clue what the comps run for 3XL solid black embroidered Roar shirts, but apparently it was a really good comp because you usually don't get $39 for this shirt, and at least from my experience, but I guess the 3XL really pushes the value up. I usually can get like at most 28, 29 for these shirts in the past, but this one sold in like a week for $39. So, or maybe no, it sold in like 3 weeks to 4 weeks for $39. So really good sale. Comp out Roar if you find it. It's very hit or miss. Some of this stuff is worth it. Some of it is not. Just depends on your size and the style that it is and stuff. Next is Peter Millar EB66 pants. We talk about this all the time on this channel. The EB66, there it is in the model number. It's in the middle of these. These are probably like color codes and stuff like that, but the EB66 is the model. It's got this little tab. It's the only one that has this like modern style tab up here, and their pants do really well. So these ended up selling for $37, even with the flaw on the back. This little like dirt spot or whatever. We usually can get about 40 to 50 bucks for these pants, and the sell-through rate is over 100%. So we buy them every time we find them. I actually bought 2 last week for 20 bucks a piece because the size on those that I bought, the sell-through rate was like 300%. So I know I can flip my money and double it within a week basically and sell them for 50 bucks. You'll probably see that sale in a week or two in the next What Sold video. We got 2 more items. We've got the Cole Haan. I like to call these the teeth soles. So I always buy Cole Haans that have this teeth sole look to them. I know it's the 0 gram model, but there's also 0 gram models that have different soles. So I just call this the teeth one on here. So you guys know what I'm talking about. They also have model numbers, C30708. You can look up these and they'll bring up the exact shoe. But the soles that have this teeth look to it, I always pick up, and it always does well for me. I'm not saying it's going to do well for you. Always comp out, what you're looking at and stuff like that. But for us, it does well in our store. So I keep buying it and I keep flipping it. But always look up those model numbers. That will tell you a lot about the item. Lastly, we have a marine layer. Marine layer definitely is not good across the board. It's very hit or miss on what you're looking at. Some things are good, some things are not. We got this from a half of half store here in Dallas, and I don't know what we paid, probably 10 bucks for it, I think. Sold for 36. And yeah, we've got a bunch of these actually there. We bought like 4 of them, and I think we've sold 2 or 3 of them now. Style number down here, easy to comp out. And most of these stuff now for marine layer is pretty low in dollar. It's still good to sell in my opinion, but you've got to be able to buy it really cheap. Like we're talking like less than 4 bucks for a lot of their stuff for it to be worth it. But that's just my opinion. Do your research and see what you think. Yeah, so blew through those 30 items. I wanted to see how this video performed and stuff, just blowing through brands quicker, see if you guys like this style a lot more than the longer, slower paced ones where we go through items a little bit, about half this speed. So let me know if you like this style more where we just blow through the brands and you guys get to see a lot of stuff, more stuff for the week. And if not, I'll just do the other way, or I might just do a little bit of both, just depending on what's going on. This style definitely is quicker for me to make the video and to put it out there for you guys, and I can show more even though it takes less time. And then the other one's just a little more in depth whenever it comes to the numbers and stuff like that. So let me know in the comments what, if you guys like this one. Like I said, leave a like on the video if you did enjoy this one. And yeah, we'll see you guys in probably, we're going to try to make a video for this week. We're pretty busy, but I think we're going to try to get a video live probably on Wednesday or Thursday, maybe Friday. So just be on the lookout in case we do get one out there. If not, usual What Sold will be here Monday or Tuesday next week, as we'll never miss one of those. And we'll see you guys in the next one.